All right, so there's been so much talk about transportation in Lagos and, of course, the impact that it's having on us all. But one thing that the government is been talking about is how to ensure that transportation options are done and properly executed in such a way that the environment is not negatively impacted. So we're talking climatic change. And that is why LAMATA, as an agency, saddled with planning and implementing the transport sector in Lagos, has been doing a lot to ensure that we go green. So this morning we're exploring sustainable transport solutions for a livable city, the LAMATA recipe. And joining me in the studios right now, I have Mr. Obafemi Shitabe. He's a coordinator for Sustainable Urban Mobility Conference, fondly called SUM 25. Mr. Shitabe, it's nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you're welcome back to Traffic Radio.
Thank you very much.
It's been quite a while, though. You've been here, right?
Yes, I was here almost a decade ago.
Yeah, that's right. About 9-10 years ago.
When we were putting together the Lagos non-motorized transport policy.
That's very correct. So you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Regular on this platform is Kolawole Ojelabi, who is the head corporate communications for LAMATA. He's also joining us in the studios this morning. Mr. Jelabi, good morning.
Good morning and good morning, Lagos.
All right. I know we have the 2025 International Conference on Sustainable Urban Mobility coming up very, very shortly. Mr. Shitabe, you are the coordinator of that, right?
That's right.
Talk to me. What's the whole idea behind this conference?
Well, as you said, the 2025 International Conference on Sustainable Urban Mobility, we target as the SUM conference. This year, last year we actually had the conference at the national level.
Okay.
It was the National Conference on Sustainable Urban Mobility. We held it at Eco Hotel. But this year we've taken a step further by making it international, especially putting Africa into the framework itself. So the whole idea is to foster synergy, commitment, cooperations amongst African governments and businesses to adopt sustainable transport practices, promote reduced carbon footprint, and promote the use of renewable energy sources.
So is that a deliberate attempt from LAMATA to ensure that we have those kind of solutions for transport that are sustainable when we talk about green energy and all of that? Is that a deliberate attempt from LAMATA?
Yes, it is, because at the end of the day, what LAMATA is implementing is a sustainable, integrated, multimodal public transport system. And to do that, presently we have about 95% of all our traffic on our roads.
Right.
So we need to diversify to water transport, into rail transport, and reduce that impact on roads significantly. Because if you can do that, then that means you reduce, the greenhouse gas emissions coming from our roads, from our vehicles, and things like that.
What's the theme for this year's conference?
Yes, it is harnessing clean urban transport, innovation and investment in Africa.
All right. So let's talk about the potential that we can really, really harness from this conference. By the way, Ojelabi, let me get you. When is this conference taking place?
The conference is taking place from October 8 to 10
okay.
this year.
Right here in Lagos?
Right here in Lagos at Balmoral Convention Center at behind Sheraton.
Oh, okay. Not far away from here.
Yes.
All right. So we're saying between October 8 to 10th, people will be gathering. Who are we expecting to be at this conference?
Oh, yes. It's a 3-day conference, so we have federal and state key stakeholders, investors, international agencies from different parts of Africa in public transport. And it's a broad spectrum of stakeholders.
Right. Yeah. All right. So to also show where we are really, and I needed to talk to this, even with the transport that we have in Lagos, how sustainable are they from what we're implementing right now? Are we having the kind of options, the vehicles, are they going greener now? Talk to me, Mr. Shidabi.
Yes. Right now we have started to implement pilot schemes in using renewable energy sources. LAMATA has implemented an e-mobility pilot scheme. Yes, electric mobility pilot scheme, where we rolled out some buses.
Okay, these are electric vehicles?
Electric vehicles, exactly. But of course, the whole idea is to replicate that statewide and getting more of the electric buses. And that's one of the things that we're going to be discussing at the conference also.
Okay.
we can build enough infrastructure for e-mobility in Lagos.
Which is very, very good. All right. What about the trains? Are they going greener too?
Yes, right now, obviously, we have 6 rail lines in our strategic transport master plan. We're currently implementing the blue and the red line. They are operating. The blue line is actually running, at least the first phase of it, on what we call electric multiple units, EMUs, totally using electricity. The red line is in diesel right now,
right.
But there are plans for it to move to electric also in the very near future.
So with all of this, we'll be doing a whole lot in terms of increasing our carbon footprint, right?
Yes, that's.
I need you to break this down for our listeners because a lot of people might not understand what carbon footprints are. Talk to us.
Well, obviously, I mean, many of our vehicles emit a lot of GHG emissions, and that's not good for health and things like that. So even right now, LAMATA has actually deployed what we call air quality monitoring devices.
Oh.
Yes, in our public transport network, in some of our terminals, some of our routes, to start to gather, because data is the issue here, big data. We need to gather data so that we can establish a baseline, so that once we move to those renewable sources, we can now see the big differences.
Right.
Therefore, reduce carbon.
All right. So let's talk about those quality monitoring devices. So are you saying in most of your stations now, if people go there, they'll be able to see those monitoring
Well, we've deployed about 50 right now.
50?
Yes.
Across
our public transport terminals, stations, and even in the water. Yes.
Are there things that the ordinary passenger can see?
I'm not so sure they are visible to the eye.
Okay. So there are things that you guys are working from behind.
Exactly.
And you can see.
And we continue to gather the data because that's very important. We want to be able to finance our projects using carbon credits and things like that also.
Right. All right. There's always the issue of active mobility too.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about that.
Oh, yes. One of the sessions is going to cover active mobility. By the way, we're going to have about 4 plenary sessions and about 5 breakout sessions at the conference.
Okay.
And one of them is active mobility. Active mobility is really zero emissions. Yeah, I mean...
Can we get to that point where there will be zero emissions?
Well, it's about encouraging walking...
Has any country ever done that?
Well, a lot of countries are moving towards that.
Gradually, but gradually. I don't think we've seen any country that has achieved zero emissions.
Well, they're getting close to it. In the Scandinavian countries, cycling and walking is taken very seriously. And that's where we're trying to move Lagos into right now. The challenge we have is to build the infrastructure to create an enabling environment for cyclists and pedestrians to thrive.
All right, just a second. Let's take this from our live motorbike. Hello there.
Hello, good morning. Once again, this is Sadiq to the bottom line from Actually, where we have a falling container list. I have a good one for you. Right now, the container has been completely taken off the road.
All right.
And now the road is open for vehicle movement. Just that most of it are experiencing busy movement here, both inward and outward journey, because it's the earlier injury. But now it's not good. Now.
Okay, Sadiq, we can hardly hear you. So, but you're saying that the vehicle's off the road, right?
Yes, exactly. The one at the solar.
Okay.
The falling container at the solar is off the road.
All right, then. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, so we've talked about that earlier on, the particular impediment to Anthony on the service lane that has been taken off, so it's a much better drive if you are navigating through that corridor. So yes, we're talking about active mobility, Mr. Chitabe.
Yeah.
Talk to our listeners, explain that, break it down for us.
Well, like I said, the last time I actually came to this studio was about when we were about to launch our Lagos non-motorized transport policy, if you recollect.
Yes.
And this was even way ahead of... now the state has a comprehensive state transport policy. So that NMT policy has been integrated into it. So we have the policy. That's not the issue.
Okay.
The question now is for us to have the will to be able to implement this the policy.
Now the infrastructure, has it been put in place?
Not quite. So what we are trying to do is to create awareness at this conference, for example. We are making sure that top city officials will be present at the breakout session on active mobility. We're going to get the PAMSECs of and even some commissioners, the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, Transport, Environment.
I think we have a call.
The general manager of LASEPA, LASMA, Lagos Parking Agency.
They'll all be there.
The agencies whose actions and activities impact on active mobility will be there, and we're also going to have what we call PAPAM. It's a concept by the United Nations.
PAPAM.
PAPAM.
Okay.
The Pan-African Active. It's called Pan-African Active Conference Program on active mobility.
Okay.
They're going to imbibe this into us and see how we can get things going, because they have the relevant state officials need to take part in this process so that we can start with a pilot scheme,
All right,
and have open streets and things like that.
Right. So, Ojalabi, I'm sure this is going to be a statement. This more or less like a statement that's going to be made by the Lagos State government, just to show that we are also in tandem with the rest of the world. Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, certainly. Don't forget also that the state also had issued a policy about implementation of the NMT on some roads. And so, if, for instance, an average road is about 7 meters, they're going to take about maybe additional 3 meters to create cycling and walking paths, on the roads. And so, this conference is going to really reinforce that, so that policymakers can take it on from there and ensure that we begin to implement this and we begin to have sustainable urban mobility in our cities.
All right. And when is the conference again?
This conference is from 8th to 10th of October at Bamora Convention Center, Sheraton, Ikeja, Lagos.
All right, then. So messages are streaming in for you this morning. Do not forget, those of you around Ojota heading towards Maryland and Anthony, having it slow. We had an impediment there earlier on that was affecting movement. That has been taken off, so you should be having better movement right now. Those of you coming in from the K2N2, you're having it slow earlier on. We had a breakdown on the bridge, mile 12. What's the latest with that? Control room, keep me posted. I hope that has been taken care of. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. How is LAMATA trying to reduce the daily traffic stress we face in Lagos? Sheung is sending that one in. Chitabe?
Well, like I said earlier on, everything boils down to implementing our strategic plans, and that means we have to move very quickly from informal to formal operations. That's another challenge, whereby we need better
public transport,
organized public transport, because that's what's going to make transport seamless. So it's still a gradual process. Lagos has been divided into about 8, public transport zones, and we're taking it step by step.
That's part of the bus quality corridors?
Yes, exactly. The bus reform initiative.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
and what is more, Victor, is that, to reduce the daily stress, the government is also thinking, working with the private sector to bring in new buses.
Okay.
The challenge that the current operators have is refleeting. And so we are working with private sectors to bring in
more buses. Okay.
For instance, the quality bus corridors will require up to about 500 buses.
Wow. That can be injected into.
That will be injected into the system.
Right.
And also towards the end of this year or early next year, we're also expecting some CNG buses. So we believe that when those buses arrive, they'll be able to relieve the stress that the public go through.
All right.
Moving from one point to the other.
Let's take some more messages now. This one says, a lot of people depend on downfall buses. Will they completely disappear one day? Bosun is sending this one in from Ikotu. Mr. Chitabe.
Yes, that's the whole idea. That's the objective. That's the goal. We want them to continue to disappear one day, but it's obviously going to be a gradual process. My colleagues have just spoken about the quality bus corridor. That's still a subset of the entire public transport network. We have a state bus route network that has already been mapped out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then 08099120777. We're talking sustainable transport options, especially as relates to urban mobility. And that's the conference coming up in October 8th.
October 8 to 10.
Right. This one says, good morning, Victor and the guests. How can transport in Lagos be made more inclusive for people living with disabilities? Stanley is sending this one in. Stanley, thank you so much.
Absolutely, because that's a very important feature in the NMT, because we want to make sure that all vulnerable groups are properly taken care of. particularly our female population, children, people with disabilities. So everything we plan now is being incorporated into the design of our public transport infrastructure, both in terms of the infrastructure itself and also the buses themselves.
Wonderful. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. My question goes to Mr. Shitabe. Say, what are some small things ordinary Lagosians can do daily to support sustainable transport? Comrade what? Is it Ajal? Okay, Comrade Awal. Okay. Thank you so much, Comrade. Yeah, so what is asking what are some of the little things that small people can do?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because what's happened is that up until 2007, when LAMATA brought in the BRT scheme, we've had 3 decades of unorganized transport.
Right.
I can testify for that from my Bobby College days. So we've had a whole generation that didn't even understand the culture of public transport. Just get to the station, line up, queue up, and be disciplined. So that's what we're trying to imbibe right now. It's more of an orientation. We're trying to change the orientation of people to accept that things can be done in an organized way.
All right. Let's begin to wrap all of this up. So, Kola Jalabi, what's the message this morning, especially as it relates to this conference, and can people be part of it?
Oh, certainly. And the message is that we want everybody to participate. But this is a paid conference. So we want people to go to our website, www.lamata-ng.com, and you can go to that website and click, register for the conference. And there are different levels of registration. So we want Lagos, we want Nigeria, we want Africa to be clean, because when we go to other parts of the world, we feel that the environment is cleaner, and so we also want to bring that to our own continent.
That'll be pretty good. Sachitabe, what's your parting thought on the program this morning?
Sorry?
So what's your parting thought on the program this morning as a round-off?
Yes, like my colleague has said, this conference is going to be very important in terms of urban mobility, not just in Lagos and Nigeria, but the whole of Africa. So we want people.
Who are the dignitaries that we're expecting at this conference? By the way?
We're going to have a lot of distinguished speakers from various countries,
and
states in Nigeria.
The Minister for Transport is going to be part of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And we also expect that our governor will declare the conference open.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
We'll deliver the keynote address at the conference.
All right, that would be good. All right, we leave it at this point. Definitely, we'll try and see if we can still bring you in before the conference comes in. But let me say a big thank you to both of you. Gentlemen, thank you so much for making it to the studios this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we've been exploring sustainable transport solutions for a livable city, the LAMATA recipe. And joining me in the studio this morning, I've had Obafemi Shitabe, who is the coordinator of Sustainable Urban Mobility Conference 2025. We call it SUM Conference 2025, and Kola Wole Ojelabi, who's the head corporate communications for LAMATA. We have to go. The program has been produced by Mike James. I say a big thank you to Kwemi Shodunke, and of course to Daniel Downsey, as well as Remy Aluko. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. I'm out. Still very much within. I'll be back shortly for The Benchmark.